Indeed, Nollywood is saturated with talent. But what's even more beautiful to see is the young generation of stars shining bright. Today, we'll be joined by incredible young star, Ijapari Ben-Hirki. Let's chat about how young actors are changing the industry. Thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. And it's Ijapari. I know you just used your Yoruba accent.
You know, I was going to say
Ijapari, not Ijapari.
I apologize. I was going to ask if I said it correctly, but I guess practice didn't work.
It's fine. Thank you so much for having me.
Let me start by saying this. I mean, Nollywood has seen a dynamic shift with young actors, over the past few years, even like yourself. What do you think is driving this surge of young talent reshaping the industry? Are you surprised by it?
I'm not exactly surprised by it. I do think that in any industry, and especially for, Nollywood, something that people see every time. People want to see new faces, people want to see new talent, so I'm not surprised that, there's a certain surge for that and people want, new talent. So that's exactly what's going on, to be honest. So no, I'm not surprised by it at all.
Speaking about young, new talent, I'm about to call a few names, from Genoveva, to Temi Otedola. I mean, the list goes on, including yourself. And a lot of people are starting to receive critical acclaim here in Nigeria, including awards that many times seem like they were for those who've been there, for the OGs, but we're seeing young actors compete at the AMVCAs. I got to ask, how important are these awards, these recognitions, in the journey for stars like yourself? How important is it?
I mean, I think that everybody would always want to, be appreciated for whatever work they're doing. So it's the same thing for us. And I do think that even the OGs are excited and happy that, we're being recognized for our work. So it is important that, we're getting these awards and we're being recognized for just coming out and doing what we're doing now. So yeah, it is important.
I like that you said that even the OGs are excited about this. I now want to talk about, a few of the projects that you've been on recently, as a younger actor. I want to say, what kind of reception did you receive, behind the scenes? Because we only see the films. We never know what that relationship is like, even with the OGs. What is it like behind the scenes working with some of these OGs yourself?
It's been amazing, to be honest. I haven't had any, experience with the OGs where I had to, feel small or, be scared of working with them. It's been an amazing experience so far. We work like we're colleagues. I've never gotten the vibe of, I've been here before you, so just be. It's honestly been amazing, and that's why I said I'm very sure that they're also excited for us, that we're doing what we're doing. We're stepping up and, we're where we are today. So, yeah, I've never really experienced anything negative working with any of them. So it's been good.
This is exciting to hear.
I don't know about other people, but for me, it's been great.
I must confess, it's exciting to hear. I want to know, because of course, for every industry, every sector, there are going to be challenges, especially even more so for those who are just starting off, those who are fresh, those who are young actors. What are some that you might have faced, or you think that young actors in general face, to possibly hinder them from even shining brighter in Nollywood?
I mean, for challenges, I feel like I'm excited now that, we're having roles and movies where you have young people being represented. We have scripts and, characters where you have young people there. But it's still a challenge because you find young people now wanting to act older or go for roles and make themselves look older than they are, because these are the roles that are available. So there's like scarcity of roles for young people, I would say. But I'm happy that I think for the past 2-3 years, it hasn't exactly been like that. We have young adult shows now. We have roles for young people. I would say that was my fear at first, 'cause I have movies for just roles of maybe like girlfriends or, older people. But we have movies now of, young adults and all of that. So I wouldn't say it's a challenge because it's getting better now. And then I think another challenge would be structure, which is the Nigerian thing, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's a Nollywood thing. It's a Nigerian thing. And when I say structure, I mean, when it comes to, how things are done and pay and all of that. But our industry is growing, to be honest, and we can only hope that things get better, especially for young people that are just coming up. This is how we make money, so we want things to be better. But I would say these are, the challenges that we've been facing, but things are going to get better. I'm very hopeful for that.
I want to talk a bit about that money. Maybe I'll come back to it because, money is important. But let me say this, and maybe for some people it might be a little unfair, but let's compare. Looking at Hollywood, young actors like Zendaya, Timothée Chalamet, Tom Holland, they become like global icons and, as young actors. How can you, I don't want to say compare, but when you see the differences, what do you think stand out for you, and how hopefully young actors...
You asking this question.
Say that again.
I don't know if that's... You should be asking. Things are definitely different. Hollywood, Nollywood, things are very different. Like I said, I do hope that things will get better. You can't compare how much these people are being paid to how much we are being paid. But I do know that things are way better than they were 5-6 years ago. I know that I've had conversations with some of my actors, and they're like, "Oh, you came in and you're so lucky because we couldn't demand for these fees, when we started. But things are better now, and we can demand for certain things, and production wouldn't say, oh, you have no right to demand for these things. So things are getting better. Obviously, we cannot compare ourselves with Hollywood, but we're getting there. We're getting there.
I want to maybe ask this question for the younger actors who are, coming behind you, about identity, like being able to find yourself with the pressure of society, and at the same time using the platforms available, because people are using socials, TikTok, Instagram, these things to market, push themselves. And even in some cases, I hear that they might not even hire you if you are not popping on socials as well, and that might be some limitation for some actors. What can you say about this?
Your last question, to the last point, I can't really relate to that, in all honesty. Most of the projects I've been on, I don't think I was hired because of, the number of followers I have on Instagram, because I don't know if I do not, I'm very sure, I do know that I don't have up to 10K followers, but I have been on solid projects. I do know it's an issue it's an issue in the industry, and not just Nollywood, even Hollywood. I've seen, Hollywood actors complain about that.
Yeah.
And I think there's a business side to it, but I also think that producers are very aware that, you need to hire people with talent. It's a plus when you have a huge social media following, but I do not think that is the reason why I've gotten the roles that I've gotten so far. I think it's because of my hard work and my talent, and
I agree.
Just being able to do what I do. So, and I'm not saying people don't do that. I'm not saying that is not an issue. Of course it is, but I'm just saying that, for me, I haven't had to, face that. Yeah.
Well, I must say...
And about identity too, I think that is very important, because these things tend to make you lose yourself. So as an actor, you have to know who you are, not just as an actor, as an individual. Whatever you do, know who you are, so the world doesn't tell you,
Preach.
Who you should know who you are. Yeah.
Preach. I'm loving it. Well, I want to say fantastic work you're doing. I do not come to you by chance. Finding Nina, you know what? I'm going to love to have you in the studio. My producers want to have you in the studio live sometime soon. But thank you for spending time with us on the show, and we look forward to seeing you bag awards coming forth, okay? But thank you for hanging with us.
So much.
We brought you the biggest stories, and of course that interesting conversation. Maybe it inspires you to, start acting. Only God knows. But Nollywood is indeed getting bigger. My name is Sam Din. I'm going to get out of the studio in a bit, but of course not without leaving you with celeb socials. Your faves, they're having fun. Let's check it out. This is bye for now.